just not good enough. You know, we don't obviously chemistry, talent wise, just everything, and it was clear.
I'm not fat, I'm big boned.
Flashback.
Despite all the off-season drama, James Harden, he's back with his team. He's back in the lineup in the preseason, and he had a pretty good game, although a lot of people were talking about his physical appearance. They're saying he looks flabby and sick. He's not in the kind of shape that we're used to seeing him in.
Meanwhile,
I am going to put on a fat suit, but I must let
the Rockets
see me. The key to my plan is that
the Rockets
sees me dressed like this.
Does anybody have any fried pastries? I'd really appreciate a bite.
He's going to make fun of fat people. Exactly what you said you weren't going to do.
I'm not making fun of the fat people. I am fat people.
Why did you go to all the trouble to put on that makeup and to do this thing? Why?
Well, because I
still want the Rockets to trade.
Really?
Yeah.
That's why you're doing
I'm
it.
a Brechtian. I'm an actor.
That's what makes you happy. Go.
We needed to get the feta cheese.
5 minutes later.
Free food! Free food! Free food! Overpackaging is destroying this planet. Half the bags are air. They're really ripping you off.
1 hour later.
Hot dogs. Can I have 4 hot dogs? All of them on double buns. That's the right amount of condiment. Most people think that they're just bums and lips, but that's not true. Most hot dogs today are 100% pure beef.
Sure, I'm pretending to be a fat guy, annoying people, but this is all part of my master plan.
It's all going to be revealed. When I unfurl this dastardly plot, you're not even going to believe how brilliant it is.
Later.
I want a hamburger deluxe. I want a cheeseburger deluxe. I want a bacon cheeseburger. F number 4 combo, relish and pickles and mustard, and a small diet cola. I'm on a diet.
1 moment, please.
French fries aren't French.
1 long, angry line later.
Slow down, Speed Racer. What's the big rush? You'll get to the same place at the same time.
After grabbing some food, James heads to the Toyota Center for the game.
Taxi. I'm just going to the other side of the street.
1 weekend of pampering later.
I want to talk about some aesthetics. James Harden definitely had a pregame meal, averaging 17 points per game over the last 4.
You got a lot of gout, and you can force the hand of a lot of teams. Because the fact is, it's almost impossible to win a championship without at least one superstar, not an all-star, superstar. And Harden's a superstar. Let's not forget, Tillman Fertitta, really, and he told us about this on First Take, and Stephen A., we discussed it many times. Not good enough, right? What Morey and D'Antoni were doing were not good enough. Wasn't good enough. You want to win a championship. But Tillman Fertitta, I don't think understood, and I think what most people still don't understand, the Rockets should have never been as close to a championship as they were. Clearly, Harden's like, look, I'm not cooperating with you. You got to make this move. And the Rockets are saying, no, we're not going to make it right now. Is this all in the service of winning a championship? Because that's why you get rid of Morey and D'Antoni. Seems to be backfiring.
As these stories unfold, even though people want to take their shots at James Harden, ultimately you're going to look at the Houston Rockets, not the present Houston Rockets, the previous regime. Morey was there. Mike D'Antoni was there. Hell, they were there before Tillman Fertitta got there, for crying out loud. And he's the owner of the franchise right now. So we got to look at it that way.
Here's the big fella. Kendrick Perkins is live with me on Get Up. Big Perk, what was your reaction to the story about James Harden?
I get it. If he was mad and he wanted to trade, I get that. But you still have to have a level of professionalism and show up to work. And when you do show up to work, you can't show up looking like me.
Do you believe one way or another the Rockets have to trade him, though? We know if the star wants out, the star generally gets out. Do you believe that one way or another they have to trade him reasonably soon?
No, Green, they don't have to do a damn thing.
The next morning.
When James Harden talked last night after the game, he knew it was quite orchestrated to try to give the organization another push to say, come on, guys, pull the trigger on one of these deals. Let's get it done. I think that was part of it. And so I do think that they were on their way toward a deal. There's no question it had become untenable in Houston. And then today, both Brooklyn and the 76ers ultimately put their best offers on the table.
He loves to play the game of basketball. He doesn't engage in load management. He believes in showing up. You can worry about a few things all you want to about James Harden, but the one thing you do not have to worry about is him showing up to play the game of basketball because he wants to play. He wanted to play with Kevin Durant. Philadelphia was obviously an option with Daryl Morey, his former president of basketball operations in Philly. But Tillman Fertitta, the owner for the Houston Rockets, would never allow James Harden to end up in Philadelphia with Daryl Morey. Philadelphia was never going to be an option no matter what James Harden wanted.
Humiliation time, stupids. Does anybody have an antacid tablet?
Epilogue.
We have an epidemic on our hands, and it's called obesity. 300 million people worldwide suffer from obesity. And this week I've become one of them. And I would like everyone to know that this is a nightmare. Do you understand it's an epidemic? Do you understand there's an epidemic? Do you understand that 300 million people on this planet are obese and they're gonna get heart disease and they're gonna get diabetes? It's not funny. Crew is laughing, that's funny.
I never wanted to be this big as a child. I was a skinny child.
This is a new low.
What's your name again? If you want to come see me later, I'll be available, if you know what I mean, Mr. Sexy.
Just because a person has a weight problem doesn't mean they're mentally handicapped.
I got a weight problem. I got a problem waiting for my food. You're a good-looking young man. Very attractive. Very attractive. You got nice muscles. Got nice muscles? Do you work out a lot? What's going on? A boy like you should come to my house. I have a camera. I take pictures. Take pictures of you,
I don't think that'd be very appropriate, sir. That'll be $570, sir.
You're talking about the price of my coffee.